drinks being poured, the hum of excitement sitting beneath it all. Kiss It Better by Rihanna flowed through the speakers, the kind of song that made you feel good in your skin, made you move a little slower, a little smoother. Riley stood in front of the mirror, adjusting the straps on her outfit, smoothing her hands over the fabric, her look for the night. A black lace bodysuit, deep plunge in the front, sheer panels along the sides. A high-slit black satin skirt, giving just enough of a tease. Strappy heels, sleek, simple, deadly. Gold hoops, her signature chain. A long black trench coat to keep everything hidden until it was time. She looked good, she felt good, and she was ready. The rest of the girls were already here, drinking, getting hyped, looking fine as hell. Simone, sleek black slip dress, hair in a slick bun, giving mysterious woman at the bar vibes. Talia, a deep burgundy lingerie set with a sheer robe draped over, thigh-high stockings, and heels that made her legs look endless. Bria, a black corset with lace-trimmed shorts, garters leading into thigh-high boots. Nia, a dark green lace teddy, no bra, just confidence and a silk robe flowing behind her. Sierra, a black balconette bra, lace boy shorts, sheer long-sleeve top. Talia clinked her glass against Riley's. Bitch, we are about to go see some things tonight. Bria grinned. Y'all nervous? Simone sipped her wine. I'm observing. Y'all the ones about to be on an adventure. Sierra exhaled through her nose, shaking her head. I feel like I'm about to see something I can't unsee. Talia smirked. And you love that for us. They laughed, toasted, downed the last of their drinks. And then it was time. They stepped out into the night. They were going to a sex party, and they were ready for whatever came next. Flashback, how they decided to go to a sex party. It had started as a joke, a throwaway line at dinner, buried under laughter and half-finished cocktails. Bria had been the one to say it. So, are we going to a swinger party or nah? Grinning, eyes sparkling with pure chaos, not expecting an actual answer. At the time, Riley had just rolled her eyes, shook her head, let them all joke about it. But later, it sat with her. It was still sitting with her days later when she finally texted the group chat. Riley, y'all remember at dinner when Bria said we should go to a sex party? Talia responded first. Talia, LMAO, yes, why? Bria, why do I feel like you about to say some wild shit? Riley, I was just thinking, maybe we should. Simone, wait, for real? Nia, Bria, oh bitch, I was playing. But go on. Riley stared at the message thread for a second before typing. Riley, look, if Elle is in the lifestyle, she's been to these before. This ain't new for her. It wouldn't be a first-time thing for her. It'd be a Tuesday night. Riley, but for me, this is all new, and I don't want my first time stepping into that world to be with someone who's already deep in it. That's not exciting for them. That's not new. I want to go into it with people I trust, just to see. No expectations, just to see what it's like. There was a pause. Then, Bria. I mean, that's fair. Talia. You're saying we just go? As a group? Just to watch? Riley. Yeah, just to experience it. Just to understand it. Simone. I mean, I'm not participating, but I'd go just to support. Sierra. Same. Bria. Now hold on. Some of us might be participating. Let's not box in our opportunities. Talia. Nah, because now I want to go for science. Nia. Y'all finna be in there looking like tourists. Talia. Girl, I don't care. I'm trying to see some shit. By the time the conversation ended, the plan was set. They were going. Arrival. Stepping into the unknown. The entrance was discreet. No loud signage or neon lights. Just a sleek black door with an embossed emblem, the kind of place you had to know about to find. Inside, the air was warm, thick with something unspoken but tangible. Everything was softly lit, deep reds, gold accents, and strategically placed mirrors that made the space feel endless. A faint hum of sensual jazz mixed with the low murmur of conversations, laughter, and the occasional sigh that hinted at what was happening deeper inside. The energy was calm but electric. The space was broken into sections: a lounge with plush seating and a bar, a dance floor pulsing with slow, hypnotic beats, and beyond that, a series of rooms where things were already starting to unfold. There was no chaos, no messiness, just consent, control, and indulgence. The women stepped inside together, their coats hiding the barely there lingerie, lace, and silk beneath. Simone and Sierra lingered at the edge, taking everything in. No judgment, just curiosity. Nia was already laughing, making easy conversation with a couple near the bar. Bria and Talia, grinning like they had just stepped into paradise. And Riley? Riley just watched. She let the space unfold in front of her, and it was beautiful. A waiter, dressed in nothing but black silk pants and a matching robe left casually open, walked past carrying a tray of cocktails. Bria grabbed a drink from the tray without breaking stride. "I like it here already." Talia smirked. "Bitch, I ain't even fully in yet, and I feel at home." Nia was still chatting with a couple, her body language relaxed but undeniably flirty. Riley caught the quick flick of her eyes as she assessed, took her time deciding whether she was interested. Simone and Sierra lingered near the bar, drinks in hand, just taking it all in. Simone turned to Riley. "You good?" Riley nodded slowly. "Yeah, I think I just—" She exhaled, rolling her shoulders back. "I like the way it feels in here." Sierra smirked. "Feels how?" Riley licked her lips, searching for the right words. Not dirty, not sleazy, just open. And that was true. There was nothing raunchy about the space. Everything, from the people to the way bodies moved together, to the way the staff blended seamlessly into the environment, felt intentional, elegant. Even the people who were already involved, legs entangled on velvet chaise lounges, slow kisses exchanged in dark corners, felt like they belonged here. Riley exhaled. This was something else entirely. The energy shifted the deeper Riley walked into the club. The lounge had been buzzing with conversation, laughter, and teasing glances. But here, it was different. Here, there was no small talk, no awkwardness, no hesitation, just bodies in motion. She stepped into the first open room, and the sight stilled her. The woman was sprawled across a deep red velvet chaise, her body bathed in the soft glow of golden light. Her legs were draped over the man's lap, his fingers tracing lazy patterns up her thigh, teasing the delicate lace of her panties. He moved slow, reverent almost, like he was memorizing every inch of her. When he finally slid his hand between her legs, she let out a soft moan, hips tilting into his touch, seeking more. Riley watched as he took his time, pressing kisses along her neck, down to the swell of her breasts, his free hand tugging at the fabric of her dress, exposing her skin inch by inch. She could see the woman's chest rising and falling, her fingers gripping the armrest, the way she bit her lip as the man dipped his head lower. Riley felt heat creep up her neck. She wasn't just watching, she was feeling. She moved to another room, and this time it was two men. One was tall, muscular, dark-skinned, his body carved like a statue, broad chest gleaming under the dim lights. The other was leaner, toned but softer, his lips full and parted, his hand already gripping the taller man. Riley swallowed. She had never watched two men before, but she did now. The taller man was leaning back against the couch, his legs spread wide, a sharp inhale leaving his lips as the other man lowered himself to his knees. A hollowed-out cheek, a slick, filthy sound that echoed in the room. The taller man's chest heaved. Fuck, just like that. And then he switched it. Suddenly, the man on his knees was being pushed back onto the couch, his body sprawled as the taller man climbed over him, capturing his lips in a deep, bruising kiss. And then he slid down his body, kissing down his chest, across his stomach, until his mouth hovered just above his member. Riley sucked in a breath, so turned on she could barely breathe. She forced herself to move, to keep going, but her skin was on fire. The next space was all tangled limbs and soft moans. 3 people, 2 women and a man. It was a dance, a rhythm, 3 bodies moving as one, and it was breathtaking. Further in, she found a different scene altogether. A man was on his knees, shirtless. Riley's breath shook. Her thighs pressed together. She didn't know what she was feeling, only that she felt, deep, low, a warmth that was curling in her stomach, twisting between her ribs, sparking along her spine, and for the first time, she let herself accept it. She had spent so much time assuming she wouldn't fit in this world, that she wouldn't understand it, but now she was watching, and she was turned on, not by one thing, by everything. The intimacy, the control, the trust, the raw desire. This wasn't about filth. This was about indulgence, about experience, about surrender. Riley exhaled. Maybe she had been wrong about herself. Maybe there was more to explore than she thought. And maybe she wasn't done watching just yet. The energy changed the further Riley walked. The lounge had been all conversation and playful flirtation, a tease of what could come next. But here, it was pure indulgence. The sounds shifted, soft moans, the wet slide of bodies moving together, hushed whispers, and low, deep groans that sent a pulse through the air. Her pulse thundered in her ears, but she wasn't scared. She was curious, open, ready to see, and she wasn't alone in that. She caught a glimpse of Simone and Sierra near the edge of one of the rooms, glasses in hand, exchanging quiet observations. She saw Nia still flirting, her body language shifting, more relaxed, more engaged. But Talia and Bria had disappeared into the experience completely. Talia's indulgence, taking 2 at once. Riley had no idea where Talia had gone until she stepped into another room and found her in the thick of it. The pleasure was unmistakable. Riley couldn't look away. She had never seen Talia like this, completely undone, completely in control of her own pleasure, fully immersed. It was wild, intense, and undeniably hot. And for the first time that night, Riley felt the pulse between her legs grow stronger. She didn't just like watching, she loved it. She forced herself to move, to keep going before she got stuck staring. But her body was already buzzing with heat, and she wasn't done yet. Bria's surprise, the dark room exploration. The deeper she moved, the darker the space became. One of the back rooms was lit only by flickering red candles, the scent of warm vanilla and musk filling the air. And then she saw Bria, but not how she expected. Bria was sprawled on a velvet chaise, her head tilted back, her lips slightly parted, and between her thighs, a woman. Another woman was behind her, hands trailing up Bria's stomach, cupping her breasts through the delicate lace of her lingerie, whispering something against her ear. Bria had never been with women before, but tonight she was letting herself be touched, kissed, explored. Riley's knees felt weak. Her mouth was dry, her body humming with something deep, something she wasn't ready to name yet. She had to move, had to leave before she got stuck here too. But now She was fully aware of just how turned on she was, and she still wasn't done watching. The final realization, she's more into this than she thought. She moved through the rooms, taking in every new experience. She was turned on, more than she had ever been just by watching alone. And maybe that meant something. Maybe she was starting to understand herself in a way she hadn't before. And maybe, just maybe, this was just the beginning. Leaving the party, the ride home. The air outside felt cooler, lighter, cleaner, or maybe it was just Riley finally breathing again. The girls piled into two cars, heels clicking against pavement, trench coats thrown over lingerie, bodies still buzzing from the night. Nobody spoke at first, not because there was nothing to say, but because there was too much to say. It wasn't until they were halfway home, cruising through the city under the glow of streetlights, that Bria let out a deep sigh and finally said, "Bitch." Talia cackled, her head tipping back against the seat. "Right." Simone smirked, adjusting the seatbelt over her slip dress. "So y'all had fun then?" Sierra exhaled, shaking her head. "I don't even know what I just witnessed." Nia, who had been sipping from a bottle of water like she had just come out of a championship game, raised an eyebrow. "Girl, you know exactly what you just witnessed." Riley laughed softly, but she couldn't deny it. Her body still felt like it was thrumming, still turned on from everything she had seen. "I ain't gonna lie," Bria said, shifting in her seat. "I did some things I didn't expect to do tonight." Talia raised a brow. "Oh, you mean like getting your Pikachu feasted upon by two women at once?" Bria gasped dramatically, shoving her playfully. "Damn, Talia, let me have my moment." Nia snorted. "No, but for real, did you like it?" Bria paused, glancing out the window before biting her lip. Yeah, I did." That sent a fresh wave of laughter through the car. Simone turned to Riley. "And you? What did you think?" Riley inhaled slowly, then exhaled even slower. "I liked watching." That got the whole car to turn and look at her. Talia's mouth dropped open. "Oh, bitch." Bria smirked. "You into that?" "I don't know if I'd say that," Riley said, shaking her head. "But She paused, trying to find the right words. "I liked seeing people like that, just uninhibited, in their element, free." She felt heat rise in her face. "And, yeah, it turned me on." Sierra blinked. "So, you a voyeur now?" Riley hesitated, then shrugged. "Maybe." She hadn't even thought about it like that. But maybe. The door to Riley's apartment clicked shut behind her, sealing the night away. She stood there for a long moment, her back pressed against the wood, her fingers still curled around the doorknob, as if she needed something solid to hold on to. The silence felt too loud, or maybe it was just her mind, buzzing, restless, replaying everything she had seen. The low moans, the slow movements, the heat of bodies pressed together. The way Talia had surrendered herself completely, lost in pleasure between two men. The way Bria had let herself be touched and kissed by two women, stepping into something she had never tried before. The way she, Riley, had stood in the shadows, taking it all in. She closed her eyes and let her body sink into the feeling. She had thought she would just watch out of curiosity. But now she knew better. She hadn't just watched. She had felt. Something had settled inside her tonight, warm, deep, undeniable. The realization made her stomach flutter. She liked watching. She liked seeing people let go, give in, bare themselves. She liked the rawness of it, the honesty, the freedom. She swallowed hard, pushing off the door, walking into her bedroom like her body was on autopilot. The room was dark, the city lights casting faint golden streaks against her walls. She caught her reflection in the mirror. the faint flush still lingering on her skin, the way her chest still rose and fell a little heavier than usual. She let out a shaky exhale. Her body was still humming, still warm, still restless, and it had nothing to do with being touched, because she hadn't been, not once, but she had felt everything. She sat on the edge of the bed, letting the night settle into her bones. She wasn't afraid of what came next, whatever it was. Next week, Riley's got some explaining to do, to Elle, and to herself.